It's time for another Real Talk with Auntie K, and this week we're talking about gender roles, or in my case, the lack of gender roles. You see, I was raised an only child, and my parents didn't believe in gender roles. I didn't even hear about gender roles till I was much older and an adult. My parents believed in being able to take care of yourself. They believed in independence. So I could come home from school, and in the evening, maybe my father cooked dinner. Maybe my father threw a load in the washing machine or cleaned up the kitchen. Maybe my mother did those things. It didn't matter who did them. What mattered is that they got done. So that's what I grew up with. I didn't grow up with this men do this, women do this. That was no part in my upbringing. In the 80s, when I got my driver's license, this was well before cell phones. I learned how. My father made sure I knew how to jump a battery, change a flat, top off my fluid levels, tell when I needed more oil, when my oil was dirty, and I can still do all of that up until today. I'm a home cook. When my garbage disposal went out, I went to YouTube. I spent 3 minutes looking at a video. I got my tools. I came back in and I spent 3 minutes fixing my garbage disposal. That would have cost me almost $100, and all the time it would have taken me to wait for a plumber. But I was able to do it myself. So that is what I'm talking about when I talk about gender roles. It's not about who has a penis and who has a vagina and what that means they should be able to do. You should be able to do everything that you need to do to take care of yourself. That's the difference between a kid and an adult. Kids need guidance, they need protection, they need to be provided for. By the time you're an adult, you need to be able to guide, protect, and provide for yourself. It's just that simple. So let's talk about the big elephant in the room. The big M, money. Money, you should have your own. I mean, that's the best way I can say it. You should have your own. You shouldn't have to depend on someone else to provide for you. Remember what I said about kids? Kids need someone to provide for them, adults don't. So, if you listen to the first Real Talk with the Aunties, I talked about my dad telling me that you don't want men treating you like you treat your sweaters. Some of my sweaters were hung up on hangers, others were piled neatly on a shelf, and then others made their way to the floor, and I just never bothered to pick them up. I just stepped on them. If I needed them, I picked them up, shook them out, and wore it. My dad was like, someone will treat you like you treat your sweaters if you give all your power, if you give all your control to them. Maybe they'll have you on a shelf one day, maybe the next day you'll be on the floor. And that's the truth. And so many people get wrapped up into having someone take care of them when you really need to learn how to take care of yourself. There's a peace that comes with being able to provide for yourself. There's a peace that I often have that a lot of people don't have. And it's funny to me, and I'm sure someone will say it in the comments, so I'll just address it right now. That's why you don't have a man. No, I don't have a man because I haven't really run across the man I want. Can I have a man? Yes, it's not difficult. But I want a certain man. I don't want just any man. I want the right man. And the right man will come at me as a fully grown person, fully grown but flawed person, and I will come to him as a fully grown but flawed woman, and we can merge ourselves in our lives and move ahead and move forward. But having a partner, back to my mother, I was raised that that wasn't the end game. Well, I want a partner. I want the right partner for me and my goofy weirdness. But that is me. You're going to find whoever you find. I just think it's funny that so many people get wrapped up in, well, I'm married, so I'm good. Well, I have somebody, so I'm good. You should be okay whether you have somebody or whether you don't. Because you being okay should be about you. It should never be about anyone else. So I'm going to end this by just saying, learn the basics of what you need to do for you to get to where you want to be. It's not about what someone else thinks, what someone else does, what someone else has or doesn't have. It's about you and how you want to move forward, and whether you want to move forward with your own peace and with your own power, or if it's worth giving that up for stuff. I mean, to me, life is more than possessions. Life is more than stuff. But if that is you, then that's you. And you're going to make your choices based on that. But gender, it should be about taking care of yourself and being able to provide for your needs. The last time I checked, and maybe I'm wrong, men got hungry, women got hungry, white people got hungry, black people got hungry. We should all be able to cook something to deal with that hunger. You can have a nasty house if you're young or old, black or white. You can have a well kept house. It's up to you and not anybody else. And I think that's the important thing. It's not up to anybody else. It's up to you to take care of you and to do what you need to do for you. And if you meet someone, make sure they're at your level. This doesn't work. If he's up here, the woman's down here. If the woman's up here, the man's down here. It doesn't work. You can have all these discussions about high value, passport people, expired people. But at the end of the day, can you take care of you? Can you do what you need to do for you and being an adult? Talk about it in the comments. I'll be looking, and I will talk to you next week.